Hi, Chase here, and today I'm going to talk about editorial cartoon. So this post was about a World War II post against the Japanese. This editorial works was made by Dr. Seuss, or also known as Theodore Seuss Geisel. Dr. Seuss was known for his imaginative children's book. During the 1940 to 1948, he worked for the New York newspaper, and he wrote about 400 cartoons, praised the FDR policies, and he also supported the black and Jews. To that end, Dr. Seuss drew many cartoons that to today's eyes are breathtakingly racist. So, what would happen? Would it be different from the main voice? As you guys know, that propaganda is a weapon. It's not only a tool, but it's also a weapon to convince people mind, change people perspective to agree with someone. As you guys see here on the pictures, it said, "What have you done today to save your country from them?" So these pictures try to show the ugly representation of a people, and the guy on the left is the Hitler. As you guys can clearly see the mustache on his face. That's clearly Hitler, or the leader of German or the Third Reich in 1940. So on the guy on the right is the Japanese people, I assume. As you guys can see, his eyes is so tiny, and he tried to represent the guy on the right as a Japanese people. So the Nazis might have been evil, but there was still room for the good German. Japan, on the other hand, was depicted entirely as a brutal monolith. Hirohito and the guy on the street were uniformly evil. So from this moment, we clearly know that this post was clearly made up during the war, and people is okay with the post as the Allied power, which are the US, the England, and all the France. They are completely try to look hero, but on the other hand, German or the Axis power, Japanese, Italy, they were seen as a monster, as a bad guy. This post can also support the racism ideology by stereotyping people, prejudice, or even discrimination people. On this picture, Hitler was using a megaphone, commanding the Goebbels to making up the numbers by typing the typing writer. He was saying "sis boom bara," million, billion, trillion, rillion, sis boom ra. So he was telling Goebbels to making the numbers of the Russian have killed. So basically, I was trying to say that he was trying to make Russian look bad by making the numbers up, and so that the Germany doesn't look evil from what they have done. It's the killing the Jews, as we know. I'll say a lot of people would agree with the Allied power as they were seen as a hero. But me personally, what if the Axis power drew this kind of portray? And I think people would criticize and see them as a bad guy, as they were the Axis power. But you guys might want to ask, who is Goebbels? Goebbels refers to a Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister from 1933 to 1945, a close associate of Adolf Hitler. Goebbels was a politician who studied literature and philosophy at university and had the title doctor. He is known for his role in Nazi Germany and his eventual suicide with his wife and children in Berlin in May 1945. But after all the work that he had done, Geisel himself was vocally anti-Japanese during the war and had no trouble with rounding up an entire population of the US citizens and putting them in camps. Geisel was hardly alone in such belief. but it's still disconcerting to see ugly cartoons like this drawn in the same hand that did the Cat in the Hat, as you guys know his popular work. In 1953, Geisel visited Japan where he met and talked with its people and witnessed the horrific aftermath of the bombing of Hiroshima. He soon started to rethink his anti-Japanese vehemence. So he issued an apology in the only way that Dr. Seuss could do. He wrote a children's book, The Horton Hears a Who, published in 1954. It's about an elephant that has to protect a speck of dust populated by little tiny people. The book's hopefully inclusive refrain, a person is a person no matter how small, is about as far as you can get from it is ignoble words about the Japanese a decade earlier. He even dedicated the book to my great friend Mitsuki Nakamura of Kyoto, Japan. His popular book, The Cat in the Hat, primarily refers to the classic 1957 children's book by Dr. Seuss, which features a tall anthropomorphic cat who creates chaos for two children on a rainy day and then cleans everything up before their mom returns. The name is also used for various adaptations, including animated and live-action films, TV special, and related merchandise. After all the 400 political cartoons for newspaper PM, where he often expressed strong and often racist and xenophobic views, including some specially targeting Japanese American, as he were a anti-Japanese. While he later expressed regret for some of his racial caricatures, particularly those targeting Japanese people, his later work like Horton Hears a Who, 1954, as I have said, is often seen as an act of atonement, promoting tolerance and the value of every person regardless of size or origin. It's amazing how the 40 works of anti-Japanese children's book to a normal children's books that includes rhythm and imagination. It's just how amazing it is. And it kind of teaches me about the power imbalance of the nations, as the Axis power is the person who lost the war and can't speak any of their point of view. In contrast, Allied power were the winners and can do whatever they want, can add whatever they want in the history, and can also prosecute the Axis power however they want.